How does one pray? I know this sounds like a very simple, elementary, and some might even call it a stupid question, but you'd be amazed how many people struggle with this. And I can tell who struggles with it by really how much people are letting themselves succumb to the situations that happen to them in this world. When you have an understanding of God's love through prayer time, you have that security and you walk with that love and that confidence. It's very easy to show. The expression, you can tell the root from the fruit, that's a classic example of where that actually comes from. But what technically is prayer? I know that you and I communicate the way that I'm speaking to you right now. Speak, listen, process, and then come to a conclusion based on what you've heard. But praying to God is something, and I said praying with God. That's even a better saying than praying to. Praying with Him, because He is more than just someone you're going to. He is somebody who's with you. So you're praying with Him. Prayer is basically a communion time. It is opening your heart to Him. He is now, when you give your heart and soul to Jesus Christ, now your spirit is created anew. He lives inside of you, and when you worship Him in spirit and in truth, as the Word teaches, now your spirits interconnect. When you pray and you open up your heart to God, you can recognize, your spirit recognizes now His presence, and then is the joining at that point, and there is your prayer, and there's your communion time. People see prayer as coming to God with requests, talking to Him, asking Him for help. Certainly that counts. Many times prayer for me exists with no words whatsoever. I'm just glad being in His presence, and I'm just so wrapped up in His love. If I say any words to Him, it's usually I love you and thank you. It's pretty much all I've been saying to Him these days. I have nothing else to say to Him because He provides everything for me. I don't really seek to obtain things through prayer. I'm just glad that I just walk in the greatest miracle of all. I'm so thankful that He chose to be with me. Anyway, not to get off the point, that's a whole other talk. But prayer that people are struggling with, I think they are having a hard time understanding the way that communicating with God is simply opening up of your heart. Worship is a form of prayer, because you're opening your heart to God through worship. And I know that any of you who have had that worship experience, and you've been to church and you open up your heart and you raise your hands and you just feel that overjoyous, just filled with emotion, that's prayer time. That's you pouring your love out to God. It's you spending your time with Him. And there is no set time for prayer. I mean, God is thankful for any time that you spend with Him, whether it's 5 seconds or 5 hours. He's just glad that you come to see Him. But then when you realize what kind of God He is, just based on that could be a revelation for you to even say, wow, He's just amazing. So prayer is just the opening of your heart. Don't worry about, I have to schedule this, this is my prayer time, If that works for you, great. But for me, prayer is spontaneous. For me, I don't have a set time. Prayer happens at the drop of a hat. And most of the time, it's just because I just love Him so much and I just want to be with Him. It's the sharing of your new spirit with His Spirit. And you see your identity in Him. Now, the more you pray, the more that you experience that, the more confident you're going to be in yourself, because you see the security that God has given you and see the love and the grace that He's given you, the security that you receive through His grace. And because He's done it because He loves you. I cannot emphasize more importantly, prayer time. Time with God to learn who you are. And it's always a learning process. You'll never learn everything while you're here on this earth. That's why every day is something new. Every day is something new. That's what's so incredible. Each day, it never gets boring. He's the same God yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But every day, His mercies are new. I hope this helps you all out. I know you can have a lot of heavy discussions on prayer. I'm sure there's some wonderful seminars out there to kind of go deeper in more theologically into prayer. I'm not going to discount any of those. I don't know any of those, so if you know anybody, I would definitely recommend check them out if they're really good. But that's my heart. That's my thought on it. And any comments, any thoughts, please comment below. Again, God bless you all. Peace be with you. And may his light shine through you. Have a great night.